Hike to Little Greenbriar Schoolhouse and the Walker Sister home in Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Our hike begins at Metcalf Bottoms picnic area along Little River. This is a great area for playing in the river in the summer months, along with a picnic and hike. To access the trail to the schoolhouse and Walker Sister home, cross the bridge over Little River. The trail is to the right after crossing the bridge, what looks like a service road with a gate across it. This trail is only 6/10 of a mile long to the schoolhouse. There is a narrow winding road to the school, but the extra distance from the picnic area is well worth it. This short trail will rise over a hill and then level off along Little Briar Branch. The trail will then end just behind the schoolhouse. Before we explore the school, we learned that Bob loved his visit so much, along with hundreds of others, that they left their names carved into the walls and furniture, disregarding that this is a historic structure. The Little Greenbriar School was built in 1882 and held classes until 1936. This building also doubled as a community church. Children's grades 1 through 8 would walk miles to attend school here. The school year was short, usually 2 to 3 months during winter months, when the farming chores were lighter. Next to the school is the Little Greenbriar Cemetery. Typical of mountain cemeteries, half the graves are those of children. Just above the cemetery is the Little Briar Gap Trail. This wide, easy trail will remind you of strolling down a country lane on your way to visit the Walker sisters. The land was originally owned by the King family. John Walker started courting Margaret King in the 1860s. But John left to fight for the Union in the Civil War. He was later captured by Confederate forces and held prisoner at the notorious prison at Andersonville. After his release, John returned home to the Smoky Mountains and married Margaret in 1866. John's father-in-law, Wiley King, gave them the land, and John later bought surrounding acreage as his family grew. John and Margaret had 11 children, 7 girls and 4 boys, all living to adulthood. The boys married or left home, 1 daughter married. The remaining sisters stayed on with their father until he died in 1921. 1 sister died in 1931. The remaining 5 sisters refused to sell their land for the national park, but were given a lifetime lease and allowed to live out their lives on their farm. In 1946, a reporter for the Saturday Evening Post wrote an article about the sisters. They lived their lives as if they never entered the 20th century. The sisters grew their own food, raised livestock, and made their own clothing from the sheep they raised and the cotton they grew. The sisters may have been crowded, but they made use of the space they had in this 3-room home. After the article in the Saturday Evening Post, the sisters became somewhat of a tourist attraction and received visitors over the years. The 122-acre farm had many outbuildings, a barn, pig pen, smokehouse, apple house, and corn crib. One type of building missing was an outhouse. The sisters preferred not to have one. Over the years, the sisters died one by one. The last sister that lived here died in 1964 at age 82. The Little Greenbriar Schoolhouse and Walker Sister home in Great Smoky Mountain National Park.